TryHackMe challenge will hack into a box. The challenge is called Brains. You see, we hack into a box, the red part, and then we'll investigate what's been going on, the blue part. So let's start with hacking the box. You see, I already started the machine here. And what we can do is open up a terminal. Then this is the target that we're going to hack. So we'll scan this target. So copy this IP address. We'll use Nmap to scan the target machine and see what network services are available. See if I paste it in. And it's going to tell you different things are available. So they have SSH on port 22. This allows you to remotely control the computer if you have the password. Then there is HTTP on port 80, so a web service. And we have this strange thing called on 50,000, the IMDb2, or what it says is IMDb2. So if we try to connect to this web server, so you can open a browser and then paste in this address. It's 80, so the default. And what you'll see is just a simple web page, right? So if I paste this in and go to that website, you see this is all you see. And if you try to scan this for hidden files or folders with GoBuster, you won't find anything. So you can use a tool like GoBuster to start scanning this thing, but there's nothing there, no files, no folders, there's just this index file. So the way into this machine is using this port. Now, while this looks like database or DB2, we can try to connect to it and see what it returns. So if we do telnet, then paste in this IP address, and followed by this port, so 50,000. You'll see we are connected. If we press some enters, you'll see it returns HTML code or web page code. So that means that this is a web server, right? It is nothing with database. It's an actual web service. You see here the page title and something about the graphics. So we can open this address on Firefox. We can simply type :50,000 and we should see a web page. So what you can do is go to that page. So to the IP address of your target you want to hack. Now this is going to be dynamic, so it will be a different address if you try this. And then port 50,000. And you'll see it takes a second to load. But once it's completed loaded, you'll see this Team City thing. So Team City, some kind of app that they're running. And what we're interested here is this version number. So you'll see here version 2023 11.3. What we can do is try to search for vulnerabilities for this Team City app for that version. So we can go to a site like exploit.db. So exploit.db, collection of exploits, and we can search for this Team City. You'll see I type Team City there on the right. And you'll see there are various vulnerabilities for Team City. So for this app, there's a remote code execution vulnerability. There's an authentication bypass and others. For example, if we try to this authentication bypass, you'll see it shows you the code of that vulnerability. And besides that, let's see, we have this CVE, so that's the code of that vulnerability. We can search for this. So we can search for this vulnerability, search exploit, and you'll see we can find various implementations of this exploits. Let's say this exploit from Wolf Hacker. We can find it on GitHub. So we have here this exploit. We'll copy the code. Then we go to this brains thingy. Let's save it. Let's replace this exploit. Then we'll paste in the code and paste it in here. There you go. Save it, and then run it. And you'll see we need this module faker. So let's install that. Takes a moment to install that Python module. So this installs the required module for this exploit. Then see if we run it, we need to specify the target. So -t probably, followed by this address. Yeah, paste it in. Could be -d as well. Let's see what it does. So we want to continue. You'll see it's loading, might take a moment. Let's check back in the documentation if they use this -t flag. So it has completed loading. Let's see if we try some command. Who am I? You see we are user Ubuntu. And if we check home Ubuntu, so with the ls command, we find flag.txt. If you want to practice Linux commands, you can use the practicelinux.com link below. And we can simply output the flag with the cut command like this, because we have shell access. And then we can paste it in. And we hacked the machine. We are user Ubuntu on the victim's computer using this exploit. Now, a real hacker would want to perhaps become administrator. So they might run something like sudo -l. And in this case, anything can be run as administrator, as a root user. So they might type something like sudo su or sudo who am I. Okay, this didn't go well. Let's run it again. So you'll see it's trying to exploit it. Then who am I? And if I use sudo who am I, it will run who am I as the root user. And you'll see I am root on the system. So this is called privilege escalation. And in this case, it was very easy, because if we check with sudo -l, we can run any command as the root user. Sudo checks what you can run as the root user. And in this case, everything can be run as a root user. So we are directly root on the target machine. This is a complete hack of this box. The next part, the investigation. For investigation about a hack on the computer, we're going to use this Splunk tool. It's a log analysis tool, and we can use this with Linux, Windows, and other systems. So in this case, we'll use it with the Linux system. So simply go to this, start to this machine, so the second one, and close the old one. And then take this address and put it in your browser. Now, this is a little bit narrow, so I'm going to make it bigger. So we'll go here. This is the Splunk interface. Go to search and reporting, and you'll get this search interface. So basically what we'll do is search through the logs to see if we can find interesting information. So if we type index is asterisk and select here all time, click search, and you'll see we get all of the events. So there in this case, there's around 4,000 things that happens on this computer. And you'll see we can filter through those things on the side, and we can also type things here. So let's start backwards. What is the name of the plugin installed on the server after successful exploitation? So we're looking for a plugin. What we can do is simply type plugin, and you'll see plugin was uploaded, whatever this name is, blah, blah, blah. And then we have this full name here, and that is the name of the plugin. So we copy it, go back to this little clipboard, and you'll see we have successfully found the plugin. Next, they say, what is the name of the malicious package installed on the server? So there's been something installed. Typically, that is with apt-get or dpkg. So let's say we search for, we search the general list commands, and we'll search for dpkg or search the dpkg log. So let's go to the log and user, where's that log? Var log. We could try this dpkg one. Let's say we simply search for install, see what we can find, dpkg log. So let's say we search this log, and let's say we only search a specific year. So let's say we have some events in 2025, 2020, and 2024. So we could simply go through this list. You'll see various or everything that's been installed on this machine. So a lot of standard Linux things. And then if we go through these pages, you'll see lib volume and various Linux packages. Then if we go to the third one, you'll see we have a package named data collector. So that is suspicious. We don't want anything to be collecting. Now, of course, this can take a while if you go through this log file searching for the package. In this case, there's 88. If you do all of the years, you'll be looking at 102 events. So can take a while. In this case, we know that it is data collector. We found it in the logs. And they also say what is the name of the backdoor user, which blah, 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 after the machine was hacked, after exploitation. So we can simply search in here, and we search for add user, Linux command to add a user. And we'll see nothing found. So let's try user add. And in user add, we find some things. So user add, something with no login. Here we see user add has been run with the name evil user and has the home folder evil user. So probably we don't want any username called evil user. That's probably the malicious user. So we did a little investigation with Splunk, and probably this is the correct answer. And we have now completed this room.